Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Wisconsin.
Beautiful view of downtown Milwaukee here tonight over at Miller Park. Hard to believe, but the season coming to an end tonight. Brewers trying to finish strong and sweep away the San Diego Padres. It is game 162 on the season. And a few personal milestones still attainable. Ryan Braun has one last shot to claim the RBI title. He currently is one behind Chase Headley of the Padres. Aramis Ramirez needs 3 doubles to grab a share of the franchise doubles record. He sits at 50 right now. And on the mound tonight, Josh Stinson making his first major league start. He'll oppose Andrew Warner. And Josh Stinson getting the start for Giovanni Gallardo tonight. And the Cruz pitching staff looking to fan at least 9 Padres and establish a new major league single season record, as the Milwaukee Brewers starters and their bullpen have done a nice job. Lots to play for in a season that turned out to be an exception. BA and Rock have the call coming up next. Fox Sports Wisconsin happy to present game 162. Enjoy.
Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. And the final day here at Miller Park, Milwaukee. Roof is closed up. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. We're in our bow ties tonight. Symbolic of the final day of the season. And because Rock's in a bow tie, we thought we'd get some perspective from him. You look like a guy who could offer some perspective tonight.
We're putting a bow on this season. And,
nice.
you know, it has been a tremendous last part of the season since mid-August. I mean, these guys, 17 games over 500. What it tells me is a couple of things. How good of a job Ron Renicky did managing this ball club, how the coaching staff was able to keep motivating these guys. But I don't think they needed a whole lot of motivation. This is a bunch of self-motivating guys. They have a lot of heart. These guys paid for 162 regular season games, and they proved that they have something to play for as the season ended, and it makes it look good going into the season for next year. What they had a lot of questions going in. They have a lot of answers right now.
Think how optimistic the Brewers are in their organization right now compared to where they were 6 weeks ago when they were 12 games under 500. There's a lot to be pleased about, a lot to look forward to, but we have game 162 tonight. The Brewers and the Padres. We wrap up the regular season in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Coming up. Dream matchups, dream opportunities. They do it because so much in sports is imagining what you want things to be like. For Brewers fans, this season may not be ending as they dreamed, but it doesn't take away from the memories it created. Ryan Braun with a home run, number 200 in his career. And Hart, a bouncing ball, base hit, and that's your ball game. Morgan tags. Here comes a throw. And Morgan slides. Save! And there's a swing and a drive to right. That is way back there. And that one, it's gone! Marianoki! A walk-off home run. Ramirez, center field. Cousins at the track. At the wall, it's gone! Aramis Ramirez has won it for the Brewers. Now you can see the future. It's level in line, clean and clear. Like balls and strikes, batting averages and home runs, the future happens one day, one moment, one play at a time. The crew looks to define it and dominate it, reach it and realize it. They, along with you, can see the future. It looks exactly like right now. Yeah, some great memories this year, and a beautiful night here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As that touch of fall in the air, the roof is all closed up here tonight, and we are set for baseball. Game number 162, the Brewers and the San Diego Padres. Bud Black and the Padres wrapping up their season right now. The Padres at 75 and 86. They are in 4th in the division. The Giants winners of the National League West. Here's Bud Black's lineup. Everett Cabrera leads off, the league leader in steals. Will Venable and Chase Headley. Headley's the league leader in RBIs. Middle of the order, Grandal, Alonso, and Denorfia, with Maben, Perino, and Werner rounding it out. And there is Josh Stinson, and you have to wonder what's going through his mind here tonight. Spent most of the season in Double-A Huntsville as a starting pitcher, and he gets the start here tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers, his first of his career.
Yeah, taking a starting spot for Giovanni Gallardo, who's not making a start today. Last started did Stinson on September 1st, a month ago, over a month ago, and got to be excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, Ron Renicky reiterated that Giovanni Gallardo is not injured, just the workload over the last couple of years. As Cabrera into center field, and Gomez makes a catch. One away for young Josh Stinson. Brewers defense, you've seen Gomez. He's got Aoki and Braun flanking him. And then the infield of Ramirez, Segura, Weeks, and Ishikawa. No Corey Hart. They've shut him down, trying to get that foot healed up. Jonathan Lucroy does the catching. The Menards Brewers defense. James Hoy calls the balls and strikes. Jim Joyce is the crew chief. He and Alan Porter and Jim Reynolds on the bases. And we tip our hat to the umpires as well. Many will be heading to the postseason. A successful regular season as well. And after what happened in the NFL, you start to appreciate the work of these Major League Baseball umpires.
And it is certainly a grind for those umpires.
Venable bounces 1-2 Segura. 2 gone now. 2 up, 2 down for Stinson. So some of the milestones we're watching here tonight. Every extra base hit for Nori Aoki adds to his list. The Brewers still lead in home runs and stolen bases. And the Brewers have a chance at the Major League strikeout record. They are 9 away from setting that, 8 from tying it. There's Aoki. Now Ramos Ramirez 3 doubles away from a franchise record. He'd have to have a huge night here to match Lyle Overbay's 2004 season. Well, this is the big matchup we're watching tonight. Chase Headley and Ryan Braun. Chase Headley leads the league in runs batted in with 113. Braun has 112. Braun leads the league in home runs, and you know he'd love to take 2 out of 3 Triple Crown categories in a year where Miguel Cabrera has a very good shot to win the Triple Crown.
And both Braun and Chase Headley have had a number of opportunities to drive in runs in this series, but neither one of them have driven in a run so far.
3 balls and a strike on Headley. Fouls it away. Now we're looking forward to watching Josh Stinson for a few innings here. Ron Renicky's hoping to get 4 out of him, just like Thornburg last night, but he has not made a start in a while since he was in Double-A, and he started a game on September 1st. So he's gone over a month without making a start. Not stretched out. So he's got very limited pitch count tonight as he walks Chase Headley.
No, he's pitched very well out of the bullpen. 5 appearances in relief and has not allowed a run. Stinson's been throwing the baseball well. If he's like any of the other young pitchers for the Brewers, you would expect big things out of him tonight. Thornburg very impressive last night.
Thornburg went 4 innings last night, gave up just 1 run. Jim Henderson was awarded the win last night. The Brewers beating the Padres 4-3. And Milwaukee now with a record of 83-78, 5 games over.
Well, the starting pitcher doesn't go 5. It's the opinion of the official scorer. Who was the most effective pitcher out of the bullpen? And in the mind of Tim O'Driscoll, it was Henderson. Hard to argue with him. Came in 3 up, 3 down, a couple of punch outs. Although Kinsler wasn't bad either.
Yeah, Kinsler went an inning in the 3rd. Brewers were able to strike out 10 last night, keeping that Major League record by a pitching staff intact. Headley takes off, throw to second is late, and a stolen base for Chase Headley.
Now the lead now for the Brewers down to 1. Yeah, both of these teams like to be aggressive on the base paths. Chase Headley not afraid to steal one. And an easy stolen base for San Diego. Tough pitch for Luke Hoy to throw on.
Now the Brewers just ahead of the Padres in team stolen bases. Headley with his 17th. And there's a strike outside corner. 2-1 on Yasmani Grandal. Rookie catcher, switch hitter. Came to the Padres in the Mad Latos deal. And Mad Latos is about to be front and center in the postseason. And now you'll really get to measure that trade. The Reds made it for the short term for this year. And the Padres thinking about the future.
I think it's already paid off pretty well for Cincinnati. I mean, Latos has been very good. Remains to be seen about, the young players that the Padres got. So far, so good for Grandal. He looks like a good one.
Now Grandal and Yonder Alonso both in the starting lineup tonight. And a couple of pitchers, Volquez and Boxberger, in that deal for Latos. Full count on Grandal. Grandal's only played in 60 games this year. This is his 60th game. He's hit 8 homers already. 36 runs batted in. And he's maintained a .300 batting average. He's hitting .302 coming in. Broken bat. And Ricky Weeks will make the play to end the inning. So a good start for Josh Stinson. Scoreless first in the books. Manager, and he's had 2 winning years, a division title last year and 96 wins. And the Brewers going after their 84th victory of the season here tonight. Renick's starting lineup brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, Nori Aoki, Ricky Weeks, and Ryan Braun. Ramos Ramirez, Jonathan Lucroy, and Carlos Gomez in the middle, with Ishikawa, Segura, and Stinson rounding it out. And there's Andrew Werner, the left-hander, making just his 8th start of the season.
Yeah, split time between AA and AAA in the Padres organization out of Peoria, Illinois. Made his major league debut back on August 22nd. Started pretty well, but last 3 starts, he's given up 13 runs and 13 in the 3rd inning. He's been getting beat up a little bit.
Let's check the defense behind Werner. Brought to you by Menards. Padres have Denorfia Mabin in the outfield with Venable in right. Chase Headley, Everett Cabrera, Andy Perino, and Yonder Alonso around the infield. And Grandal does the catching. Menards Padres defense. Chase Headley had a walk in the 1st inning and a stolen base. What a year he's having. Aoki will lead off. Well, we bid adieu to Nori Aoki here tonight and his massive following of Japanese media. We've really enjoyed getting to know them and spending the year with them. Nori If you don't know the story with Aoki, he is a major celebrity over in Japan, and he was one of the top players over there for years, a 3-time batting champion in Japan, and he's had a group following him. It goes from anywhere from 3 or 4 up to about 8 or 10 at times, and we've enjoyed getting to know him and spending our days with him.
Yeah, nice folks, and you know, Aoki's very gracious with them, and sometimes they demand quite a bit.
In the right field, Aoki sends one out to Venable for the first out.
Aoki has a camera on him the minute he walks out of that dugout until the time the game's over.
Very friendly relationship between Aoki and
I mean, they do get along.
Yep.
See him having dinner from time to time, so yeah.
And Nori will be heading back to Japan after this one. I think he is heading out tomorrow, and he's signed to a 2-year deal, so he's looking forward to coming back. Really enjoyed his time here. Ricky Weeks with one away. I'm assuming the translation with Kosuke and Aji was accurate. Of course, Kosuke could have said anything.
Right. He's pretty good, though. I don't think he
it's part of the job description, right?
Doesn't really stress the truth too much, I would imagine.
Nori did say through Kosuke today that he liked your bow tie. So you got that going for you.
The whole crew's in bow ties tonight. I like it.
Well, we appreciate you leading the charge, and you are the quarterback of this crew, and we follow your lead, and
yeah,
we appreciate that.
That wasn't even my idea. I think that was a Craig Cashon idea he threw at me a couple of days ago, and why not? Special occasion tonight, last game of the season.
For the record, Rock brought all of the bow ties and tied all of the bow ties. They're not clip-ons. Otherwise, we
wouldn't be wearing them.
We'd be in another neck wear. So thank you, Rock.
It was fun. Got a nice picture. Everybody on the air in bow ties in a nice picture. Get on the Twitter page. Check it out.
There's a strike 2 Weeks. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And at the end of our broadcast, we'll be taking your votes on Twitter about who looked best in their bow tie. There's a shot right back up the middle, a base hit. Weeks hit it right on the button. And a clean single with 1 out, and that will bring Ryan Braun to the plate. Ryan with a long ball here can take over the top spot in runs batted in. He's 1 behind Chase Headley. Still leads the league in some major categories, including home runs, slugging percentage, extra base hits, and runs scored. He's tied in the league in extra base hits and runs scored, and you see he's really swung at that well. He's hitting .320, technically 4th right now, but after tonight, that would be good enough for 3rd because Melky Cabrera is going to fall off the list. He'll come up 1 plate appearance short.
I think the intensity of this club in the last 6-7 weeks of the season, you can pinpoint right to the guy at the plate right now.
That ball's hit deep right center. And did he catch it? Maven lays out and makes a great catch. Wow. What a play by Cameron Maven.
What a beauty that was. That would have been an RBI for Ryan. And Ricky Weeks almost down by second base, but what a nice play by Cameron Maven. Wow. Doesn't get any better than that. Ricky Weeks ready to take off and score and fully stretched out. Nice job by Maven. Taking away an extra base hit and an RBI. Wow.
That was something. And you know, Chase Headley appreciated that effort. Well, you love seeing that. Great effort. Last game of the season. Neither one of these teams are going to play in the postseason, and stellar effort from Maven. It's one of the better catches that we've seen this year.
Yes, sir. He can play center field. He's had a rough year at the plate, but he covers a lot of ground out there.
So it'll be a Ramos Ramirez. Well, you wonder if he's got 3 doubles in him tonight. That's what it would take to match a franchise record. He has 50 doubles on the season. which leads the league, and that is a new career best for Aramis Ramirez. So whether he gets the record or not in Brewers franchise history, it's been a stellar year.
And again, when your stars are playing hard throughout, even when this team was given up for dead, 12 games under 500, Braun, Ramirez, Corey Hart continued to play hard, and everybody else followed suit.
Runner goes. Weeks, the throw to second, not in time. And a stolen base, so the Brewers match the Padres steal for steal in the first inning.
Yeah, Ricky with a nice lead, a pretty good jump, not great, but not a very good throw by Grandal. Ricky Weeks barely able to keep that toe in the bag, slid right over the second base bag. Ricky's been running a lot lately. That's good to see.
Yeah, his ankle finally healthy once again. Injured that ankle last year. 16th stolen base of the season, 4 weeks.
Another question that everybody had in the beginning of the season, first half. What's wrong with Ricky Weeks? He's not running. He's not hitting. Well, he is now. He's doing both.
Well, we'll never know because Weeks doesn't talk about it, but you just don't know how much the ankle truly affected him coming into this season. He had all off season to try to rehab it and get it right, but still, when you're not going through everyday activity, and baseball's a hard game on the feet, on the ankles, especially at his position at second base.
And much different player in the second half. Good to see.
Lucroy on deck. Aramis Ramirez trying to put the Brewers on top. Got a runner at second, 2 outs. And the 1-2 pitch. Little flare. That will fall foul. Aramis Ramirez leads the league in doubles, but also tied for the league lead with Braun in extra base hits. So that could be a little team competition for the National League lead in extra base hits this year. Corey Hart will finish 5th on that list. Tied for 5th. At one time they were 1, 2, and 3 in the league. Braun and Ramirez with 80 extra base hits apiece.
And think about how slow of a start the Ramirez got off to. He's got most of those extra base hits, most of his doubles since after mid-May.
Aramis has driven in 104 runs this year, and that's tied for 4th in the league. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down and out, 2-2. Well, you want to see how good Aramis Ramirez has been. He doesn't like to get off to the slow starts, but it seems like what he does every year. His first 40 games, look at those numbers.
Yeah.
219, 3 homers, 22 runs batted in, and then took off.
Yep, a couple of hits tonight, and he's going to hit 300.
Back up the middle, that's a base hit. And here comes Weeks, he'll score. Aramis Ramirez gives the Brewers the lead. 1-0 Milwaukee as Ramirez drives in number 105.
Yeah, 105. Let's see if that batting average clicks to 300. A game like this, he gets to 300. That might be his last at bat. Able to pull the hands in, shoot it up the middle. And he is at 300. Oh, what a difference. 299 and 300.
It does.
It is a big difference.
It does look like a lot. Remember, Prince Fielder hit 299 last year. Couldn't get to that 300 mark. Here's Lucroy now. Brewers have the early lead tonight, 1-0. Boy, think about that catch by Cameron Maben. Saved a few, perhaps.
Yep. Werner not a guy that throws out very hard. He's got to keep the ball down. He's got a good changeup.
Ramirez takes off and bobbled by Grandal. Ramirez is safe with a stolen base and drilled by the throw from Grandal.
Grandal double clutched. I mean, if he gets rid of it right away, Ramirez is an easy out at second. Number 9 of the year. You made it sound like that was a surprise. He's got 9 this year. And a throw right away is going to get him. That one got him right in the side.
So that stolen base is going to leave a mark for the offseason. Lucroy pops it up. Alonso will give way to Forsythe. The inning is over, but the Brewers score. They get a couple of stolen bases as well. A great catch by Maven. That'll be on all the highlight shows tonight. RBI single came with 2 outs in the first inning. Now we head to the second. Giovanni Gallardo was scheduled to start tonight, and he was scratched by his manager Ron Renicky. We're going to visit with Renicky next inning. Going to ask him about that decision. But Gallardo had passed the 200 inning and 200 strikeout plateau earlier this season in his last start. So he gives the ball to the kid Stenson. As Alonso lines one off the wall in left center. On his way to second, Braun's throw comes in a little bit late, and it's a leadoff double for Yonder Alonso. Now, Ryan Braun said Giovanni Gallardo is the unquestioned ace. He takes the ball every 5th day, logs big innings, and he is their number 1. And Gallardo had a great finish, Rock. 12 starts. He went 8-1 at an ERA of an even 3.
And talk about a guy stepping up after the trade of Zach Greinke. Everybody concerned about the starting rotation. Giovanni certainly picked up the slack, and the Brewers' outstanding record with Yo on the mound this year. 21 wins for the Brewers when Giovanni took the baseball.
And Giovanni won 16 of those games. Tied him for 6th in the league in victories. 16-9, a 3.66 ERA. Over 200 innings, over 200 strikeouts. Had a strikeout per innings pitched this year. And Gallardo with back-to-back years of 200 Ks again. And a great talent to build your starting rotation around. Giovanni Gallardo. Fly ball into center, pretty deep. Back is Gomez. He's got it. Fedorfia flies out, but Alonso will advance.
Hey, the best seats, prices, perks, and the best of Brewers baseball. It's all yours with a season ticket package. For more information, call 414-902-HITS. Brewers season tickets for next year. It's going to be a good year. All indications last month and a half. Got a lot to look forward to in 2013.
So here's Cameron Maben. And a hot one on the ground to Weeks. And looking Alonso back. He'll get the out.
Yeah, that's very good base running by Alonso. You got to score on that. He was back. Although the ball was hit right on the nose. Well, if you hesitate for a second, you can't go because he would have been out easily, but didn't get a good jump, stayed put. Ricky doing a nice job making sure he stayed there.
So Alonso's leadoff double. He's still at third base with 2 away now for Andy Perino. Perino making his first start of this series. Padres are under new ownership, and they have a lot of optimism moving forward, hoping they can put some pieces together, maybe pick up some talent. They've been active on the trade front, and then they've signed a couple of veteran players, which I think is very important, and it gives you an idea of where this organization is headed. You know, they signed Mark Kotze. Bud Black talking about how important it is to have that veteran leadership in the clubhouse, a veteran bat off the bench.
And he's a good one.
Kotze and Carlos Quentin both signing contracts with the Padres for next season. Two balls and a strike on Perino. Josh Stenson working in his second inning. Gave up a walk in the first, stranded him. A leadoff double here in the second. Alonso still at third. And there's a strike, a fastball. Stenson was originally with the Mets. Brewers picked him up off waivers this spring. Had a nice year in Double-A this year. 11 wins, 9 losses, a 3.16 ERA in 24 starts. Tough to win double digits down in the minor leagues. Usually you're not lasting long enough to win.
Yeah, pitch counts get you. You're not able to stay out there long enough to get a lot of decisions, but they pitched well and rewarded by a September call-up.
Stinson has not started a game since September 1st against Montgomery. 29 games this year. He actually began the season as their closer, had a couple of saves to start the season, and he moved into the starting rotation in late April. And the Brewers are very pleased with what they've seen out of Stinson. Bouncing ball to Weeks. Stenson spoils a leadoff double, strands a runner at third, and 2 scoreless. Register for a chance to win a VIP experience for two to a 2012 World Series game presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of MLB. We head to the bottom of the second. The Brewers coming up. They have a 1-0 lead over San Diego. A run on 2 hits. Weeks and Ramirez with the base hits in the first inning. Ramirez drove in the run. 2 stolen bases in that first inning as well. Brewers are trying to lead the National League in home runs and stolen bases. There's another base hit up the middle. Well, Johnny Aaron said the approach against this guy is back up the middle, and the Brewers have responded. All 3 hits that way. Gomez aboard to start the second. Tonight's Subway Sub Prize on the line is the National League wild card. And that one is all set. Braves, Cardinals. That'll happen on Friday night in Atlanta. I believe that is a 5 o'clock Eastern first pitch.
Is that 4 o'clock here?
That would be 4 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock in the Mountain Time Zone, and then 11:30 in California. Gomez on his way, and he'll stop at second. Throw behind him. Gomez safe as the ball trickles out.
I would imagine that's an E1. Look at that lead for Gomez. Wow. And not even close. Not sure what Werner was doing there. You see that from time to time when the pitcher doesn't give a nice firm throw over to first base.
Be an error on the pitcher. Gomez to second.
Gomez probably upset that he can't steal it.
Which means he might try to run here momentarily to third base. Now the American League wild card still up for grabs. You know the Texas Rangers will be there. Incredible finish to the season as the Oakland Athletics sweep the Rangers and win the West.
Incredible. Who would have thought?
With the 29th payroll in the major leagues, the Oakland A's are postseason bound and division title in the American League West. There goes Gomez. Throw to third. Not a chance. Gomez steals third base. The third stolen base of the ballgame.
At 37 now for Gomez, and he's only been caught 6 times. And none of these stolen bases have been really close. Grandal, another high throw, and Gomez steals it. 3 stolen bases for Milwaukee in the first 2 innings.
Eddie spooked him a little. He's a nervous fella. Throw to third, and Gomez back.
Do you think Eddie's loud even when he whispers?
I think so. Watch for the pickoff.
Some kind of coaching staff this Brewers club has. Manager, coaches. Really have to give them a lot of credit for what went on here in the last month and a half.
Attention to detail. Staying on the game. Ryan Braun said as much. We had him on in our Brewers Live pregame show today, and he was raining down praise on Ron Roenicke and his coaching staff. Ron Roenicke is going to join us in the top of the third from the dugout. Get a chance to hear from the manager and get his thoughts on the season as he's managing a ball game. Bouncing ball to short. This will get a run in. Nicely done. Ishikawa with an RBI, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead. The stolen base pays off.
Yep, single error, stolen base, ground out, and the Brewers are on the board. 2-0. The Padres like to play the infield back, and the ground ball scores the run.
Gene Segura with one away. Carlos Gomez still has a chance to steal 40 bases this year, now 37 bags on the season. It'd be a big day, but it's possible. Segura over to third. Wow, what a pickup by Headley and a good throw. Man, Maven and Headley making 2 highlight reel plays already in this game.
And the Padres have not been very good defensively, but so far today, putting on a show. That's a nice play on the backhand. Nice soft hands by Chase Headley. Kind of took a wicked hop. His second hop coming right up on him and able to get rid of it quickly.
They sent Headley out to the outfield. They were hoping he'd become a left fielder. And then moved him back to third base. He had come up in the Padres system as a third baseman. They figured, you know, maybe outfield is his spot. He'll get more playing time. He's done a nice job at third base this year. Stinson fouls one away. A big league at bat for Josh Stinson. And it goes 1-2. Stinson had 1 plate appearance as a Met last year. He drew a walk. He was a little late on that one.
I'm just happy that he made contact, I guess. Nice smile. That was a pretty hard hit baseball. Wrong direction.
Line drive like a cricket. It's getting closer. Taking a shot at Woody over there, our first base cameraman. Takes a lot more than that to shake up that man right there. He's seen it all.
He's protecting Kelly down there.
Yeah, with a $200,000 camera. Stinson strikes out. Inning over, but the Brewers score 2-0 Milwaukee. We will hear from the skipper. He'll join us from the dugout when we continue. We're pleased to be joined now by Brewers skipper Ron Renneke. And Ron, because we know you love doing interviews in the middle of games, and because you're really not doing anything right now, we thought we'd have a chat with you. Thanks for joining us.
No problem, guys. Enjoyed working with you all year, and you guys do a great job. We're in this thing together, and next year let's do it better.
So tell us, first up, the big news, obviously Gallardo not starting today. What was now wait a minute, you have Bianchi coming in here. Why don't you talk us through this here?
Yes,
Ramirez is coming out.
Rami needed a hit to get hit 300. He's had some kind of year this year, and we'll get him out of there. And I was hoping he'd do it early so he wouldn't have to wait. But he's been outstanding all year, and big pickup for us.
Well, what a great ovation. Listen in. That's terrific. Yeah, a nice touch. So Ramirez leads to a standing ovation here.
That's great. He deserves it. Ron, what have you learned about your team over the last 6 weeks?
Well, they're certainly resilient and hung in there, and you know, after that tough start for the first half, really bounced back. We never gave up, and I think the guys always knew we had that in us, and put together a nice stretch to get us back in there and have a fun September.
And obviously, you have to have a good core group of veteran guys that have been through the wars to keep the young guys focused. What have you learned a little bit about your young players, the guys that have come up, your starters, Segura, guys like that?
Well, you're exactly right. Having that group of veteran players to be able to guide these guys in the right direction. And we not only got to see young guys, but we got to see them perform under some pressure, under some tight games in September when we're trying to get back in the race. And I think that says a lot for the young crew that we have, and with some bright futures.
Well, Ron, as you laid out that moment for Aramis Ramirez, Bianchi, his first try, wouldn't you know it, and makes the play for the first out. But I'll relay to you what Ramirez told me yesterday, and it was reiterated by Ryan Braun. Ramirez said yesterday, he told me that you're the best manager he has ever played for. And Ryan Braun was equally as complimentary of you and your, not only your game skills, game management skills, but your communication skills. When you hear that from star players, how does that make you feel?
Well, it certainly makes you feel good. I'm very fortunate to have, when you talk about those two guys, very professional, makes my job really easy. And that's probably why the relationship works so well, is because I can talk to both of them. They're very intelligent about the game, about their job, and they care about winning. And so I think when you're on the same page with players of that caliber, it makes it very easy to manage them.
Ron, what would you say if you could pinpoint one thing that really got this team turned around about mid-August? Can you think of one thing that you could say was the big difference?
Well, the offense was certainly better the second half of the season, and that was pretty consistent throughout. The bullpen, we went through a little phase there where we didn't pitch well, and when they got it together and they started locking out games, that offense continued to swing the bats. Our starting pitcher did really well, especially with the young guys, and Giovanni had that big streak going through there. So it's hard to say what one thing did it, but the consistency of what we were doing defensively, we played great, and boy, if we can get that together for a season, we could have a really fun year.
You have an interesting dilemma, I want to call it, with Lucroy and Maldonado. You got two big league starting catchers. I mean, that's a nice problem to have going into spring training.
Yes, great thing to have. Two guys that not are only good, but can play every day. So if something happens to one of them, we feel really comfortable in that other guy going out there every single day. And very rare in the game today. Offensively, they can both hit. Maldi we brought up because he was a defensive catcher, and we found out this guy can really hit. He's had some huge homers for us and really puts a good at-bat together.
Ron, give us your thoughts on the crowd here, the fans, this great turnout this season. Now you've completed 2 years as a manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, you're borderline cheeser at this point. Tell us your impressions and how the players and how the coaches and you react to this kind of crowd response.
Yeah, well, we saw it last year as my first experience really being here every day with the people. And we didn't start well last year either. So they hung with us, finished strong, certainly, and they were all behind us. But this year, as bad as we were going halfway through the season, they were still there. We go to other ballparks where teams are in first place, and they don't have this kind of support. And we were, at that time, we were in fourth place. So it's been a wonderful experience for me so far, for these guys also. It's a great facility to be able to come here, and it's raining out today, and we're in here playing and not even aware of what's going on outside.
That is a fair ball down the line by Venable. That'll be extra bases with 2 outs. We saw the moment here with Aramis Ramirez. Do you have that kind of moment in mind for Ryan Braun, and what will be the game plan if that's the case?
Really, Ryan, we're going to see how the game goes. He's got some things that I would like him to have a chance to accomplish this year. Hard to imagine doing any more than he's already done for us, but he's had a great year, and I would like him to continue that way. And So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But we will talk during the game and see what he wants to do.
Now, normally, as you're managing a game, we never ask you to do this. Obviously, it's the last day of the year. But what kind of things are you looking at specifically as a manager right now? If you're not joining us on headset, what are some of the things you're doing in the top of an inning when your pitcher is out there?
Well, I think once a guy gets on base, making sure that the defense is in the right spots. I never like to be too deep in the outfield when we have a guy in scoring position, especially with 2 outs. So sometimes I make sure that Eddie does a fantastic job with moving the guys around, but make sure that we're not too deep in areas. We've got a guy, Headley, hitting now, who can drive the ball anywhere, so that changes things. But most of the time, I'm watching and making sure we're in the right position.
You wouldn't mind yelling at the umpire for us, would you?
No, I kind of like James. He's doing a good job so far, so we'll keep him on our good side.
All right, well, we'll let you go. We'll let you manage the rest of the sitting now that the runner is on. Thanks a lot for joining us. It's been great working with you, and we've enjoyed watching this team really pull it together down the stretch and really fight their way back into a pennant race. And you're to be commended. So thank you for doing this for us.
Okay, well, thank you guys.
That is Ron Renneke, Brewers manager, and we appreciate him joining us. That's not easy to do, especially for a guy like Renneke, who is so dialed into every nuance of the game.
You could see his eyes going all over the place. Once Venable got on second base, I mean, he was focused on something else, and probably a good thing that we let him go.
Yeah, but he's always been a guy that pays attention to detail. If you talk to other managers who work against him, that's what they'll tell you. Ron Renneke is a guy that I feel like he's always watching me, and he's always staring in my dugout and wondering what personnel and what the next move is going to be. Keeps you on your toes. I'd say that's a great compliment from an opposing manager. Yeah, we hear that a lot about Renneke, very well respected in the game. Of course, he and Bud Black go way back. They were together on the same staff in Anaheim, that Angels team that won the World Series. Bud Black was the pitching coach of that club. Mike Scioscia managed. Joe Madden was the bench coach.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Mike Scioscia's influence as to why the Angels, lost so many of their coaches, went on to, managerial careers, or the fact that his coaches were so good, the Angels were winners. A little bit of that has to, come into play.
Grandal bounces one to second, and that's the inning. So Josh Stinson with 3 scoreless. Done a nice job. Now Ramos Ramirez, standing ovation on his way out. He's a .300 hitter this year. Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. by Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Brewers lead 2-0 here at beautiful Miller Park. Last day of the 2012 regular season. Head to the bottom of the third inning. The Brewers are coming up. Our Carsoup.com email the booth question. What are your favorite moments from this season? Tony in Milwaukee wants to know. Got a few moments out there that come to mind. I think the Ryan Braun 3-homer game in San Diego is probably tops on my list. 15 total bases in a single game. Just incredible dominance by a hitter in a game and in a ballpark that was playing very big that night. It was a cool evening in San Diego, and Braun made it look like a wiffle ball field.
That's the first time any hitter had ever hit 3 home runs at Petco in a game.
To be the road team and to be able to do that is impressive. 3 balls, no strikes on Aoki. Thanks to Ron Renicky. I could spend a lot of time chatting with him during a game. Wouldn't you love to just hear some of the conversations that go on? Because Aoki dumps one into center field. So a single for Aoki to start it. Well, jog your memory here. Take you back to April 30th. Ryan Braun, he was off to a bit of a slow start, believe it or not, and then just went off. 4 hits, 3 home runs. This was the one that gave him that 3-homer game.
That one to right field was incredible. This one here,
that's the one.
That is a bomb out there to the opposite field, and Ryan Braun with a triple, 3 home runs, and what a night at the old ballpark for grade 8, they call him.
15 total bases in a single game, set a franchise record, and that really jumpstarted his season. Braun would go on a tear after that, and it was a slow start for him. There was a lot of concern coming out of spring training, if you might recall. The tumultuous offseason that Braun had. Had a suspension overturned, and Braun was able to come right back without Prince Fielder. That was another big question mark. How was he going to do without the protection of Fielder?
Did better.
A better year.
Did better. Yeah, maybe the slow start for Ryan Braun had a little bit to do with the slow start for Ramos Ramirez.
Yeah, possibly.
Ramirez started to swing the bat. Ryan Braun swinging the bat. It all goes hand in hand. Corey Hart in the lineup.
He's one of the greatest talents in any sport that I've covered. I've covered a lot of sports, but to be able to consistently deliver through a long season, and especially in the clutch, is impressive. As Weeks strikes out. Now Braun, if you compare his numbers from last season to this season, so he had 332 last year, had 33 home runs and 33 steals, a 30-30 season for him. So the batting average a little bit lower, more home runs, more RBIs, on base and slugging right about the same, and he has 30 stolen bases as well. So really what stands out, the power numbers.
That's certainly the best player I've seen since I've been doing this job. 18 years and nobody even close. You start to get the Milder Yount comparisons. He's got a long way to go to get to those guys, but he is well on his way.
He was robbed of an extra base hit and an RBI in the first inning. And the kind of treatment a superstar gets, flash bulbs pop whenever he swings the bat. He's completing his 6th year in the major leagues. He's driven in over 100 runs in every season with the exception of his first, when he drove in 97. And spent the first 6 weeks of that season in AAA. Braun down the line, foul. And you know, Renicky at some point would like to see Braun, even though he didn't say this specifically, I know what he's talking about. He'd like to see Braun pass Headley in RBIs get it to the point where Headley's not going to hit again, and then allow Braun to come out of a game just like he did with Ramirez.
All right, get a couple of RBIs, get the lead, and Brewers don't appear that they're going to be throwing strikes to Chase Headley tonight. They've walked him his first 2 times up.
There's a line to the right. A base hit for Braun. So Ryan Braun, a line drive out and a line drive single tonight.
Both coming to right field. Right center, a line drive that Maven caught, and a bullet to right. Not too many can hit that pitch that hard to right field. Look how deep he hits this baseball. That shot on the right. I mean, off the back leg, and that's just perfect technique. Just reaching out. Bat speed at the point of contact. That's the key to hitting. You don't have to wind up and take a big hack. Short, quick to the baseball. That's Ryan Braun.
A balanced spray chart for Braun. 2 on with 1 out. Here's Bianchi hitting for Ramirez. So Ramirez will finish his season with a .300 batting average, right on the nose, 50 doubles, 27 home runs, and 105 runs batted in. That's a big year. Aoki started then stopped.
And good job getting back. And Werner had the right idea, just didn't throw the baseball. Not sure how many times Jeff Bianchi's hit cleanup.
He's in a run producer's role now, isn't he? He replaced Ramos Ramirez last inning. And into right center. Maben drifting back. He'll make the catch. Aoki will tag. And with 2 outs, 1st and 3rd. Well, Rock, how about your favorite moment?
No, it was a 24-hour period. Remember that comeback the Brewers had the final game in Pittsburgh? They'd won the first 2. They came back, won that game. A late inning rally to win that game 9-7, and then 24 hours later they had a snatch and back victory at Washington, scoring 3 runs on Tyler Clippard, their closer. And that was the point right there where the Brewers felt as though they had a legitimate shot. They were down 1 game, 1.5, 1 game. That final wild card spot, and things started to get very interesting after that game in Washington.
Yeah, that was a great 2-day window as Lucroy bangs one to left field. That is off the base of the wall. Aoki will score. Lucroy into second base with an RBI double. 3-0 Brewers.
Talking about another guy that's had a nice year. Nice year at the plate, hitting over .320. Very good with runners in scoring position, just like he does right here. A bullet over the head of Denolfi left. And another 2-out base hit from Milwaukee. All 3 of their runs. I should say 2 of the 3 runs have scored with 2 outs.
Padres are going to intentionally walk Gomez to set up the matchup, the left-hander on left-hander with Werner and Ishikawa. Well, those Brewers catchers have been impressive. Renicky talked to us about Lucroy and Maldonado, but don't forget George Kataris earlier this year. He got off to a great start this season. Hit a bunch of home runs in the first couple of weeks. And if you are just looking total production from one position, the Brewers about as good as it gets, with Lucroy missing 2 months with a broken hand. A combined .290 average, 22 home runs, 88 runs batted in, and a .991 fielding percentage. Lucroy the starter, Kataris the backup. Lucroy got hurt. Maldonado came in, essentially caught every day. And then Lucroy comes back.
Yep, offense, defense, very good for all 3 of them. But as Ron Renicky said, a nice issue to have, a nice situation to have going into spring training, having 2 guys that can be big league starters behind home plate. Some organizations can't find one.
Bases loaded for the Brew Crew here in the third inning. A run is in. Ishikawa at the plate. Really, if you look through the season, the only blemish for this ball club was late inning relief. Other than that, you're talking about a team talented enough to be a postseason and World Series contender. And they felt that coming in. Had enough pitching.
And those guys turned things around nicely.
Had a nice finish to the year.
They did. Talking about keeping your head up.
Well, the Brewers now boast some elements that every organization hopes for. Great catching. The Brewers have two talented catchers. A solid young shortstop who looks like he's going to be a star in this league, Segura. And you've got Carlos Gomez, who has established himself as an everyday center fielder. Of course, you have Braun, the anchor in left field, the MVP candidate every year. The Brewers feel very good about where they are as an organization right now and where they will be moving forward. That ball's hit well, deep right field, and it is off the wall. Braun is in. Lucroy is in. Here comes Gomez. He scores. A 3 RBI double for Travis Ishikawa.
You have intentional walk in front of me, will you? Well, he got a pitch that he liked and hit a rocket over the head of Will Venable. 12 double for Ishikawa, and the Brewers have done a pretty good job of running bases loaded last couple of days. Maldonado with a grand slam. Now Ishikawa, lefty against lefty. Bases clearing double with 2 outs.
Gomez just flying around the bases. And Ishikawa has 4 runs batted in tonight. And a ground out and an RBI in the second, a 3 RBI double. Pitching change coming up for the Padres. 6-0 Brewers.
From Ryan Braun on Brewers Live pregame. We've heard from Ron Renicky, and now we'd like to hear from you, the fans, on what your top moments and plays of 2012 were. It's always fun to take a look back. We'd love to hear from you at FS Wisconsin, and you can tweet us with the hashtag 2012 Top 10 with your best plays and moments. BA?
All right, Sophia, thanks. And our thanks to Sophia Bennett. Hawking the social media platforms all season long for us.
Been a nice addition to the broadcast this year.
She's done a great job. You'll see more of her. She'll be around for the Bucks and, of course, all the high school football action as well. New pitcher is Corey Burns. Gene Segura with 2 away. after Ishikawa just cleared the bases with a double. The numbers on Burns.
17th appearance, a big earned run average, almost 6. And the opponent batting average over 300, but it does have more strikeouts than innings pitched.
Segura bounces one over to second, and the side is retired. Travis Ishikawa, the star of the night. 4 runs batted in, 3 of them with one swing of the bat. A double, clearing the bases, giving the Brewers a 6-0 lead.
A single run in the first, an RBI single by Ramirez. Ramirez finishes the season at 300. Ishikawa with a big day, 4 RBIs. First on a ground out to short. Jonathan Lucroy doubled with 2 outs. He drove in a run, and then the big double after the Padres walked Gomez intentionally. Ishikawa with a double, clearing the bases, and a good start to the night for Milwaukee.
Brewers score 4 in the third. Scored runs in every inning against Andrew Werner, who goes 2 2/3 in this game. 6 runs, 5 earned. Meanwhile, Josh Stinson to be held to a pitch count around 50 to 60. He's at 50 right now as he starts the 4th inning. So Tyler Thornburg go 4 innings last night. Took him 51 pitches to go 4. He left with the lead. '24-year-old Josh Stinson from Shreveport, Louisiana. Another broken bat. He's shattered a few in this game already. Alonso grounds out.
Nice job coming all the way back, down 3-0.
This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Rocking the eye black, got the phone on. Nice. Another good crowd on hand tonight to see the Brewers finish off the season. And we've had a lot of fun broadcasting these games for you. And it's a fly ball to right, pretty well hit. Aoki out of room as Denorfia goes deep. First run for the Padres on a Chris Denorfia home run.
Opposite field for Denorfia. His 8th home run of the year. That trying to get ahead in the count. Fastball up, out over the plate. Denorfia goes right with it. And Noy runs out of room.
First home run of the night. Here's Cameron Maybin now. Well, Stenson has never had a big league win. Does have 2 losses. He took a couple of losses with the Mets last year, pitching out of the bullpen. Has a major league save. As Maybin sends Aoki deep to right, he's got this one for the second out. Upset at himself about the home run still. AT&T trivia. Who was the first manager in Brewers history to have back-to-back winning seasons?
Very nice.
That's a good question. Gives you an idea of where the organization has been. Hopefully where they're headed. Starting to see it all across baseball, though. We saw the A's win the division today, upending the Rangers. Baltimore has a chance to win the division. Looks unlikely at this point, the way it's going, but they'll be headed to the postseason. Some terrific franchises from years past. I think the playing field's starting to level out a little bit as it becomes a young man's game. This is a game that is getting younger and younger. Right up the pipe in the middle of the infield, and Bianchi trips on the mound but still makes the catch. Oh man, that was a great catch. And Ramos Ramirez says, man, I'm glad that was you. Well done, Jeff Bianchi. Not an easy play. Burns deals strike one to Taylor Green. He'll be pinch hitting for Josh Stenson, who is out of this game after 4 innings. I think Renicky and Rick Kranitz can breathe a little easier now. They were really concerned about these 2 nights with their 2 young starting pitchers who haven't pitched much, but really had no other options, as Cameron Lowe is getting loose in the pen. And both Thornburg and Stinson are able to give the Brewers 4 innings in back-to-back games, and now that allows Renicky to breathe a little easier moving forward with his bullpen. Offense has scored 6 runs on 7 hits. Stinson goes 4 innings with 1 earned run. Nicely done in his first big league start. And Taylor Green rips one over to first. Alonso makes the play for the first out as we check in with Telly Hughes in his bow tie. What do you have, Telly?
Well, BA, we check in with the crew and the community for the final time this season. Brewers Community Foundation, along with Mark and Debbie Antanasio, appreciate the fan support this season. Approximately $3 million has been raised to support quality nonprofits in the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs. Many youth and families are being positively impacted. Thanks, fans, for supporting the 50-50 every game, 5K run and walk, BCF week, and other fundraising efforts. The BCF and the Antanasios very much appreciate what's been accomplished together, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Telly. Hey, Telly pulled off the bow tie nicely.
He did.
And if you're lucky, you'll get that back by next spring.
I'm not sure how I'm going to collect those after the game. I have to wait around for the end of the post-game show.
There he is, Professor Hughes.
Looks good.
Nice. Got to thank Rock, though.
No, he brought them all, didn't he, Telly? He hooked us up.
He hooked us up.
I've got a number of them.
Not only did Rock bring them, but he tied them. Mine has been untied, and now I'm kind of stuck here.
Now what are you going to do for post-game?
Now I'm kind of stuck.
I'm going to have to take mine off?
Are you going to be able to tie my bow tie?
I'm not retying you, by the way. You have to pull yours off. You look like the guy in the movies that just got finished with a big big dinner.
Like,
you know, it's kind of like hanging out about 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's like a scene out of Hangover. Even Sophia broke out the bow tie right there. She's got the pink bow tie.
Oh, there you go.
Nicely done.
Well done. All the bow ties match.
Well, match the individual outfits, you mean?
Right.
They're not all the same bow ties.
No, they match everybody's outfit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's impressive that you can do that.
The guys wear outfits. I really don't want to say outfit. All the ties, all the bow ties match what we're wearing. Because Sean uses that line a lot. You know, nice outfit today. Now, if you say that to Sophia, that's one thing.
Yeah, that works.
But you know, you don't say that to Augie.
A suit in a bag. 1-2 to Nori Aoki. Slow roller. Cabrera got to hurry. The throw is in time. Nice pick by Alonso at first base.
Man, that's a heck of a play by Cabrera. I mean, he's running at full steam. Grabs it, gets rid of it, and gets the out. That's not an easy play. Good agility and a nice short hop pick by Yonder Alonso to get the out. Padres flashing some leather.
So 2 outs, and here is Ricky Weeks. And a single, a stolen base, and a run scored in the first.
And Ricky Weeks has been a big part of the resurgent offense from Milwaukee. Ever since the All-Star break, he's been swinging the bat well all the way up to 230. That doesn't sound like a lot, but we've been talking about it. He was down around 160 deep into the season.
Just before the All-Star break in the first half, Weeks hit 199. That all changed, and it started to look like himself in the second half. Respectable numbers. Certainly the home runs and the RBIs from a second baseman. Batting average won't finish where he wants it, but considering where he was, he'll take it.
He's got to be very happy with the finish that he had to the season. Doug Melvin and Ron Renicky very pleased going into next year.
And he might have found a home in the 2-hole. Weeks does have a good on-base percentage. 327. That's with a 230 batting average. An on-base percentage of 327. He does walk a lot. He leads the club in walks.
Amongst league leaders in walks. National League.
It's a good spot for him in front of Ryan Braun. Gives you that power threat in the 2-hole. 3-1. Ball 4, and here comes Braun with a man on. So Ryan has swung the bat well tonight. A line drive out, robbed of extra bases and an RBI by Maven, and a single to right. Fans letting Ryan Braun know they appreciate the fact that he played them all here on this homestand. He had the option to take some days off. Renicky did share with me that Braun said, I'm playing.
Yeah.
These fans show up like this and they've been supportive. I'm going to play. Bouncing ball to short. Cabrera. And out is the call. Post play at first. Braun is retired. And 4 innings in the books here at Miller Park. Go to the 5th. 6-1. On a shocking event, the fake Philly fanatic takes out 3 of the presidents, and Teddy won for the first time ever. Nationals beat the Phillies, though, by the way. They secured the best record in the National League. Also, Chipper Jones in his final regular season at-bat. He had a pinch hit single as the Braves beat the Pittsburgh Pirates today. Jones and the Braves head to the postseason, and the big game today, the Oakland Athletics come all the way back. Amazing. They sweep the Texas Rangers and win the American League West.
Unbelievable.
What a moment at the Coliseum in Oakland.
Texas Rangers led the West just about the entire year except for the final day.
That's a 12-5 victory. Rangers went into that series needing 1 win to win the division. Oakland swept them. Amarista pinch hitting, and he will double to start this 5th inning as Cameron Lowe takes over on the mound. And just moments ago, Miguel Cabrera was taken out of the game in Kansas City. That secures a triple crown for the Tigers' 3rd baseman, Miguel Cabrera. He will win the batting title, more home runs than any other, and 139 RBIs, beating out Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, amazing year for Miguel Cabrera. Wow. MVP? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't guarantee an MVP.
You know, the guy on the top right, Mike Trout, is his nearest challenger. First triple crown since Carl Yastrzemski did it in 1967. Bouncing ball. Weeks makes a backhanded stop. No chance to throw out Cabrera. Too fast for that one. The triple crown is a tough feat. It happened in back-to-back years in the 60s. Frank Robinson of the Orioles had the triple crown in 66.
There's Sandy Koufax. There's Don Drysdale. Pretty good pitchers that he had to handle.
That's World Series footage from the Orioles and the Dodgers. And then in 67, Carl Yastrzemski did it. Harmon Killebrew tied Yastrzemski that year in home runs with 44. But Yastrzemski the triple crown, and we wouldn't see another one until 2012. Cabrera takes off, throw to second, in and out of the glove of Segura.
And he had him too.
And it'll be a stolen base and a run scored as Amarista comes in.
I'm not sure if he's going to get a stolen base of home plate because he didn't take off until that ball actually left the glove of Segura. It could be an error. Check it out. He doesn't take off to that ball down on the ground, so it's going to be an E6, I would imagine. Can't give a stolen base on that. He didn't take off till the ball was out of the glove.
And Segura had it right there. So a run is in. And a stolen base and an error. E6.
Yeah, it will be an E6. Yep.
Cameron Lowe has given up back-to-back hits to start this 5th inning. His numbers on the season.
70th appearance for Cameron Lowe. He's been having a rough stretch here lately. Earned run average up to 441.
Brewers have a 6-2 lead. Scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning. The big blow was a Travis Ishikawa 3 RBI double in that inning. Came with 2 outs. Ishikawa with 4 of the 6 runs driven in tonight. 2-1 to Venable. Foul tip into the middle Lucroy. Now the Oakland Athletics spent 1 day alone in first place. The most important day of the year, the last day of the season, and they win the West. It's unthinkable.
Yeah.
Considering where they were as an organization. They traded away their best pitcher, Gio Gonzalez, a 20-game winner. Traded Bailey to the Red Sox, their top closer, an all-star. They were kind of in this mode where they were going on a 3-year plan to hopefully get a new stadium and then rebuild, and yet the reclamation projects they put together and they assembled all took off together.
Yeah, Billy Bean's going to get another movie deal.
That's right. What are they going to call this one?
Right.
Off the scrap heap. The
Wow.
Oakland A's.
Something else, huh?
The Rangers were in first place 24 of the 26 weeks of the season. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Although Texas still going to the postseason, they'll be the wild card team.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to get to the World Series again. How about that crushing World Series loss last year, and then you go through this. I mean, it seemed like they had that division wrapped up for most of the season. I mean, they were far and away the best team in that division, and everybody talking about whether the Angels were going to catch them, and the Oakland A's just went right under the radar screen and just kept winning.
Oakland at one point as late as June 30th, 13 games back.
Not the Angels not making postseason. Yep. All the money they spent.
Angels, Dodgers,
right.
Red Sox.
Yep.
Got some explaining to do.
They do.
You wonder if Bobby Valentine will last as the Red Sox manager. Already reports coming out that he will not. Ishikawa will glove it. Hustle to the bag. Close play. Just got Venable, who runs well. Cabrera advances.
Hustling down that line all the way. Hey, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, the final Tavern of the Game winner this year. That's kind of sad, isn't it? The Pilot House in Prescott. That's on the near the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers game next April or May. It's all for courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite, our good friends at Miller Lite. What would we do without them?
You're not a sentimental guy, but reading the last Tavern of the Game, you're welling up a little bit.
It's an emotional thing for me. I love that.
That's your thing.
You know, it's been, I think, twice you read it. I think I was indisposed.
Or predisposed. Right. Or some kind of disposed.
Right.
Maybe just straight disposed.
I kind of miss doing it when I don't get a chance. I'm not here for it. Our great friends at Miller. buddy Keith Reed, I know he's watching tonight.
Chase Headley in an RBI position here with a runner at third base. Just one out. Lowe has him down 0-2. Ryan Braun 1 RBI behind Headley. Braun had an RBI taken away from him in the first on a great diving catch. That ball's deep to right, hooking, and it is a fair ball home run. 2-run home run for Chase Headley on an 0-2 pitch. That was close. Well,
I think they have to. They might have to look at that one.
Jim Joyce, the man who made the call, is the crew chief. It's his decision whether he wants to take another look at it.
Let's see it as the ball disappeared behind the foul pole. See if you can still see it over the foul pole. Hard to tell.
Can't tell if it nicked it or not.
Went in front and nicked it or went behind.
Well, they'll take a look at it here. Jim Joyce, the crew chief, will head underneath.
Yeah, it looked like on that shot, it looked like it missed the foul pole. And it looked like it was foul. If it hits any part of that pole, it's a home run. Yeah, just by a little bit, just scrapes that pole. Let's see if the ball disappears behind the foul pole, it's a home run. Let's see, it's going to go in front. Do you see it when the ball in front of the foul pole? You can see it. There it is. It is a foul ball. That ball never disappears behind the pole, which means it's a foul ball. Right there. Yep.
So Jim Joyce is down underneath. They have a monitor down there, and replays will come from New York, from the Major League Baseball offices. And
well, that ball clearly did not disappear behind the pole or hit it.
So the two managers wait. This could be big. Let's see what the call is. Jim Joyce comes out, and foul ball.
Foul ball. There you go.
Overturned. Take the RBIs away. Chase Headley back to the plate.
Well, they got it right. Well, no arguing replay. I mean, it's got to be clear that the ball was foul, and what we saw. Second look we had, right down the line.
But Black saying that it nicked the foul pole.
There's no arguing a replay. Can't do it, right? End of discussion.
So the Brewers get a break. And instead of a 6-4 game, it's back to a 6-2 game. Headley already removed his batting gloves. He was already on the bench.
High-fiving everybody. Boy, tough to get a home run taken away, huh?
And if you're thinking about the RBI race, Ryan Braun still just one back. That might have put it out of reach for Headley. So we'll do it again. Cabrera at third base. No balls, 2 strikes is the count with 1 out.
Hey, a reprieve for Cameron Lowe. Boy, giving up an 0-2 home run to Chase Headley. Of all the guys in the lineup, that's the last guy he wanted to see hit a home run, right? Given the circumstances.
And remember, Cameron Lowe and Ryan Braun go way back. They played high school baseball together at Granada Hills in Los Angeles. Braun still 1 behind for now. 2-2 the count on Headley. 1 out in the inning. And that ball's in the air, left field. Braun chasing, can't get it. That's a ground rule double, and that'll be an RBI for Headley. So he comes up with a hit and drives in a run, just not a 2-run homer. But now it's a 6-3 game, And Cameron Lowe having a tough time out here in the 5th.
Yeah, Cameron Lowe's troubles continue. He has had a tough time last 10 or so appearances. His earned run average went up by a full run. He's been much better on the road than here at Miller Park this year.
That's where it stands right now. Headley by 2. He's at second with 1 out. Grandal takes a strike. We're keeping an eye on the Yankees game tonight. They lead Boston 9-2. Yankees look like they're headed to another American League East division title. Robbie Cano has hit 2 homers tonight. Granderson with his 42nd. Boston is going to go 69-93 this year. The Boston Red Sox.
Wow. 93 losses.
First time they've lost more than 90 games since the 60s. Tampa Bay shouting out Baltimore. Evan Longoria hit 3 homers tonight for the Rays. He's pretty good on the last day of the regular season.
Yes, he is.
Remember that dramatic walk-off home run last year?
Yep.
Put the Tampa Bay Rays into the postseason.
After a 2-out, 2-strike home run to tie it. He didn't do it, but that was a great day.
So it's looking more and more like a Baltimore-Texas American League wild card on Friday. I believe that will be in Arlington. After all of that, doesn't look like we're going to have a tiebreaker this year. I would have bet top dollar we would have had a tiebreaker the way it shaped up a week ago.
Yep, good thing you didn't.
I would have bet Rock's Mortgage, one of them. One of the 5.
Hey, you're funny.
There's ball 4. So this 5th inning continues very similar to last night. As Rick Kranitz is on the phone.
Bullpen a bit short for the Brewers here tonight. And no Thornburg. Stinson was ordinarily in the bullpen. So 2 less. Well, they still have 7.
AT&T trivia tonight. Who was the first manager in Brewers history to have back-to-back winning seasons? Renicky will have that. George Bamberger did it.
I knew that. Bambi's Bombers, late 70s.
Jerry Augustine, part of those teams. Brewers fans have always come up with good nicknames for the managers and the teams. They've incorporated Bambi's Bombers, Harvey's Wallbangers, Ron's Wrecking Crew. I like it. Anybody else I missed? Phil Garner have a nickname?
I don't recall Scrap Iron, but he had that long before he was with the Brewers.
There's Kinsler, who threw an inning and a third last night. There's a strike.
I think Cameron Lowe could use a ground ball here, preferably at one of the Brewer infielders.
Two runs are in. 6-3 Milwaukee. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Alonso. Ground ball right to an infielder. Weeks to Segura and a double play. Put a bow tie on him. He can predict the future. Bill Schroeder, well called. And the Brewers are out of the inning. Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, and our terrific crew, and we want to send out our best to our crew and a hearty thank you from all of us here in front of the cameras to those behind it. Great audio technicians and video and camera operators.
Yep, good friends, family all summer. And then just like that, don't see him until April. Well, maybe once in a while down at the Bradley Center.
Yeah. Same crew.
Checking out a
Pretty
game.
much.
Yeah.
They love their baseball, though. They love the Brewers, and makes it a joy to come to work every day if you call it work. Some of the best in the business. And they are on top of everything. Your eyes and ears to Brewers baseball. And all of them are true artists as they frame these pictures and these sounds and give us this great look at Brewers baseball on a nightly basis. We always enjoy coming to work.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Fun-loving folks. We give them a hard time once in a while, but they do the same to us.
Thanks to Chris Withers, our lead producer, and lead director Kevin Shank. Brad Weimer, our pre and post game producer.
I mean, I've been mispronouncing his name all summer.
No, I think you've been doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Particularly the last couple of months have been fun.
The silent one. The venerable one. Yeah, we had our crew party last night. That was a lot of fun getting together with everyone. Yankee in the air to left. Got jammed a little bit. And there was out number one.
That's right. We're going to see him again. We're going to have a crew golf outing, right?
Yes, that's on the books. That's going to be exciting. We should televise that in our bow ties. Andrew Cashner, the new pitcher here. But thanks to Tyler Barnes, Alita Mercer, Drew Olson in the Brewers front office. They hosted that event for us yesterday, and that was great fun.
Yeah.
Trying to get together once a year and make fun of each other.
Well, people, making speeches, telling everybody how much they're going to miss each other, and
don't let the door hit you in the rear end on the way out. Baseball goodbyes. There are goodbyes, and then there are baseball goodbyes. You bunker up with the same group of people for 7 months.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
7 months.
The old saying in baseball, in a few innings, you can pick your own friends.
That's right. There's a nice catch by Grandal. A basket catch just in front of the railing. So 2 men are out. And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez still sitting on 19 home runs. You know he'd love to hit 20 this year. We love round numbers. Gomez has scored twice tonight, as a single, a walk, a stolen base. A career year for Carlos Gomez.
And be a 20-20 guy.
And that would give the Brewers 5 20-homer seasons if Gomez could hit one out. Powerball home run leaderboard. Got jammed. Little flare to center. Maben will run it down, and Andrew Cashner with a 3-3 down inning. On our way to the 6th. Padres as we go to the 6th inning. Game 162 of the season. And how good have the Brewers been at home? Tonight, if they win, it'll be their 50th victory of the year. That will match the best in the National League. The Reds have a 50 home win season, as do the Washington Nationals. So they would match the best record in the NL for home victories. Last year, the Brewers led all of Major League Baseball in home wins. And so the last 2 years, Rock, 50 games over 500, starting with the 2011 season and then this season. 105 and 55 at Miller Park. Renicky, we had him on earlier. He talked about how influential this ballpark and this crowd can be here, and the numbers don't lie.
No doubt. I mean, it energizes everybody from you know, the concessionaires to us here in the booth. And you know, we had Doug Melvin on up here a few days ago. He said this ball club is built perfectly, suited perfectly for this yard. They hit home runs. They have some speed. There's some angles out there where you can get some extra base hits, and they just play with a lot of confidence in this ballpark.
Brandon Kinsler on the mound.
A lot of last at-bat victories for Milwaukee.
That's all final in St. Pete. The Rays beat the Orioles. So Baltimore ends up on the record in a tie with Texas, which means they will go to Arlington for the wild card game. As Denorfia shoots one to right, a base hit. Well, the Brewers season will end tonight, but that doesn't mean you can't start looking ahead to 2013. Beginning Thursday on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Check out Ryan Karchi's position by position series looking back at 2012 and ahead to the offseason and beyond. Ron Renicky, Gordash, and general manager Doug Melvin will have a postseason press conference tomorrow as well.
I can't imagine that the Brewers have too many holes to fill. Maybe work on the bullpen a little bit. Perhaps work on the bench. I don't know. I'll tell you, it's a lot more questions answered over the last 6-7 weeks than before. I'll tell you, going into August, there was a lot of questions going into the rest of the season. Brewers really not sure where they were going to go, what direction they wanted to head. Not anymore.
Well, the Greinke trade has certainly made an impact on the Brewers this year, and they got back into the race without Greinke, which is amazing that you could lose a pitcher of his caliber. Segura is the centerpiece of that trade, and looks like he's ready to take that next step and be an everyday big league shortstop. But there are also two pitchers that the Brewers acquired they're very high on. As Maven launches one. This is way back. Wow. A booming home run by Cameron Maven. And the Padres keep fighting their way back. It is now a 6-5 ball game.
Well, the bullpen of the Padres have literally shut the Brewers down offensively, and it's been just the opposite for the Brewers bullpen. The Brewers bullpen and now has allowed 4 runs in an inning plus. There's a slider, a hanger, didn't do much, and Maven able to hammer that one out of here deep in the left center. A 1-run game here at Miller Park. Padres now about hit Milwaukee.
That is the 8th Padre hit. Back-to-back hits in this inning. Maven doesn't hit many, but he's got big power. Has one of the longest homers this season. His 8th home run, 45 RBIs now for Maven. Bases clean, nobody out for Andy Perino. Well, you know, Kinsler probably a little fatigued after an inning and a third yesterday. Brewers are banged up in their bullpen, believe it or not. Last day of the year, Livan Hernandez has a hamstring injury. Jose Veras has a tight back. So Renicky was hoping he could get through this game. Cameron Lowe gave up 2 runs, and now Kinsler's given up a pair. As he strikes out Perino. First out of the inning.
There's good movement on the fastball. And Manny Parra pitched in last night's ball game. Did not fare very well. Parra did not get an out. Gave up a couple of runs. And Kinsler now on back-to-back days. Good sinking fastball. And Perino over the top. Well, you got Livan Hernandez may or may not be available. Probably not. Veras banged up. Henderson, K-Rod, and John Axford. And we'll see.
This is the inning to try to get through the 6th. Bud Black's going to bring on a pinch hitter here. John Baker, the backup catcher, will come on to hit. First pitch to Baker is in for a strike.
There's that fastball that Kinsler has gotten a lot of mileage out of this year. That good sink. 93 to 95 with a fastball with some downward movement going away from the left-handed hitter. Brandon Kinsler is going to be an interesting case study in spring training.
Well, he didn't hurt his chances with his effort this year. He has gone from a player taken off the roster, injuries that might have cost him his career, surgery to repair nerve damage in his elbow, and now he is right in the thick of things as he strikes out John Baker for the second out. Back-to-back Ks. The Brewers still have their sights on this strikeout record, but gonna have to see a bunch of them the rest of the way.
Yeah, those are the first 2 in the game.
They needed 9 to break the record to start play. So down to 7 and 6 to tie the record. Still possible. You get into Jim Henderson and K-Rod and Axford. Might pick those up in a couple of innings.
Right. Never know.
It's worth hanging around for is what we're saying. What be changing the channel.
It'd be nice to see Axford get another save. He's got 35. Talking about a turnaround, huh? John Axford doing a nice job. Really had a rough stretch in the beginning, the middle part of the season, but I tell you, ends up with 35 saves if he doesn't get one tonight. That's a pretty good season. I mean, as far as numbers of saves go.
Well, he reestablished himself as the closer, and I think that was priority number 1 when the Brewers were looking like they were down and out. And that's what Renicky said, and he took his slings and arrows because of it. But as Renicky's looking ahead to the future, knowing that you have to get the closer spot established, and if Axford can't be that guy, then the Brewers are going to have some work to do this offseason. But he was that guy.
He's nailed down 17 of his last 18.
That looked like a strike. Just missed inside 3-2 on Cabrera.
Well, tough pitch to take.
Full count pitch. Right to Kinsler. And Cabrera is out. Kinsler gives up the 2-run homer, but rallies, retires the next 3 in order. the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. A reminder to get all your high school football action with Fox Sports Prep Zone. Tune in Friday at 7 p.m. to Fox Sports Wisconsin when Wisconsin Rapids takes on Stevens Point in the televised game of the week. Or you can log on to foxsportswisconsin.com, click on the Prep Zone tab to watch West Appear against Seymour and River Valley versus Lancaster. For upcoming schedules and plus channel information, visit foxsportswisconsin.com. 6-5 Brewers. They lead by a run. Padres have scored 5 unanswered. And the new pitcher is Tommy Lane to face Travis Ishikawa to start this inning.
Yeah, bullpen for the Padres has been impressive so far tonight.
Ishikawa, who has driven in 4 runs in this game, flies out for the first out. A bunch of games are rolling in. A lot of deciding games today. Came right down to 162 to determine some of the playoff seedings. Another fantastic finish across Major League Baseball. Miguel Cabrera is going to win the Triple Crown. His team headed to the postseason. Tigers are the team to watch right now. They've got Verlander ready to go. They will open at home. It's going to be the Tigers and the A's in the American League Division Series. The Yankees not only won the East, but they'll have the best record as well. So they will await the wild card winner.
Yeah, both the Tigers and Oakland red hot, aren't they? It's going to be interesting.
Tigers knocked the A's out of the postseason back in 2006. Remember the Houston Street?
Yeah.
Maglio Ordonez hit the home run that sent him to the World Series. Street's a closer with the Padres these days.
Well, Brewers haven't seen him yet, and that's good news.
Segura is 0 for 2, hitting .267, but .343 in the month of September. Drastic improvement at the plate. He went from looking overmatched against big league pitching to looking like a guy who could maybe hit 300 one day.
He just has to, get the at bat, settle in, relax up there, just let the ball get to him. And most of his base hits have come gap to gap. Most of them right up the middle. Not a guy that's going to hit many home runs. Brewers probably don't want him to start swinging for the fences. Got a good idea up there at the plate, only 22 years old.
Tommy Lane deals a 2-2, and it's into right center field. That will be caught by Venable, out number 2. Well, the playoff picture as it stands right now, this is the way it will be. The Giants and the Reds, that's a very compelling series. Washington finished with the best record in the National League. And they will await the Braves and the Cardinals. The Braves would love to return the favor to St. Louis. It was the Braves collapsed last year in the regular season. St. Louis overtook them. We're going to win the World Series. How about that matchup Friday, Rock, with Kyle Loesch and Chris Medlin?
Yeah.
As Maldonado pinch hits.
It's going to be a lot of fun starting on Friday. I tell you, if I was the Cincinnati Reds, I'd be a little concerned. I mean, going out to San Francisco, that's not going to be easy going all the way out there. Facing Matt Cain, Bumgarner probably. Giants very good at home. Not sure how much of an advantage it is to have the best record.
Right.
First 2 games on the road.
Yeah, if you can win one, set you up well. Reds are going to go with Cueto, Arroyo, and Latos, top 3 in their rotation. There's Henderson. Matt Cain, Bumgarner, probably Don't know who number 3 will be yet. Could be Barry Zito, Vogelsong. Lincecum's going to be in the postseason rotation, but he's had a terrible year. So you wonder. Maldonado pulls it foul. What a story Maldonado has been. There's a big question answered. Ron Renicky joined us in the dugout in the 3rd inning. He said, we promoted Maldonado because we knew he'd give us good defense. He's always been a defensive specialist. And then he's brought some offense to the picture as well, as he strikes out to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning. The Padres bullpen has settled this one down. Brewers lead by a run. Down to 1. It was 6-0 at one point. Now 6-5. Josh Stinson pitched well in his first big league start. 4 innings, 1 earned run. He was on a very strict pitch count of 60, and that's all he was allowed to throw today. Ishikawa with 4 runs batted in. Cameron Maben hit a 2-run homer last inning. Ishikawa's out. Maldonado will come in to play first base. A new pitcher on the mound, Jim Henderson, as we go to the 7th.
Well, Henderson, you talk about big surprises and a guy that could very well have been the linchpin to turn that bullpen around, coming in, picking up some big innings when the rest of the bullpen had been struggling. Look at the ERA, a little over 3 in 36th appearance here tonight, and has only given up the 1 home run. He has been a nice surprise. You figure he's going to be big in the plans for the Brewers going into spring training.
Ten years in the minor leagues, Henderson finally gets a chance in the big leagues and makes the most of it. He'll be headed back to Calgary, Alberta after the season. Venable, Headley, and Grandal coming up. Headley has an RBI in this game, an RBI double. And he's walked twice. He's 2 RBIs ahead of Braun. Figure Braun to get 1 more at bat, maybe 2. You hope not 2. Appreciate all the fans watching tonight, checking in with us on Twitter and sending your favorite moments. It's our question tonight. Got some good ones coming in. And he's involved in a lot of them, Ryan Braun. No balls, 2 strikes on Venable. Up the ladder, he doesn't bite. I'm sure Renicky's glad to get Martin Maldonado some time at first base. He likes him over at first base. He said the great hands that makes him such a good catcher. makes him a good first baseman as well, and you know he's got a great arm. What a great system to be involved with if you're a backup catcher. You get to play a lot. Renicky uses his catchers to pinch hit, play first. Got to be versatile. I remember a few years ago under Ken Maka, Jason Kendall caught, what was that, 149 games?
Yeah, Mike Rivera, what, caught 12 games? Something like that? That wasn't many.
Yeah, he hardly played that year.
Right, hit 300. That was the amazing thing. Always good to have two catchers that, you know, Ron Renicky made a good point. I mean, one of those guys gets hurt, you have another guy that you have no problem filling in and being the everyday guy for a good stretch of time. Maldonado did it, and he did a nice job.
There's an opening walk by Henderson. Well, Maldonado is known for wearing the tools of brilliance, we like to call him up here, and he's as good as it gets defensively, and you figure he'll grow into one of the top catchers in the National League with his defense, but his offense has been the story this year, and the fact that he's been able to swing the bat, and he filled a huge void when Lucroy was hurt. He was the everyday catcher when Lucroy broke his hand, and Brewers Ball Club responded well to Maldonado and two 26-year-old catchers that have very bright futures.
And he learned the pitching staff very quickly. That was the impressive thing for me. Didn't see a lot of shake-offs with Maldonado behind home plate. And you could say he caught a lot of them in spring training, but that's a little bit different animal. Guys don't throw the same in spring training as they do in the regular season. Maybe one of the best throwing arms behind home plate here with the Brewers that we've had in a long, long time. I'm trying to think back. You know, Henry Blanco, Mike Matheny, but I don't think they had a better throwing arm as far as just sheer velocity to the bases. Those guys are right on the money, quick releases. And Maldonado, the big gun behind home plate.
And he's done a nice job at first when he's gotten a chance. Renicky will have him take a lot of ground balls and get involved in a lot of the defensive situations next spring. Headley down the line. Braun can't get it. This is going to be another run. And this will tie the ball game at 6. Headley on his way to third. And that might just secure an RBI title for Chase Headley as he ties this game with his second RBI. 6-6. The Padres have come all the way back.
Yeah. I think if Ryan plays it safe on that, I don't think Venerable's going to score on this. Although he was running on the pitch, Brawny stretches out, didn't even come close, and because of that dive, Venable able to score all the way from first base. Scores easily, and Headley in with a triple.
So Headley, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs batted in. 115 RBIs. What a great year.
Yeah, it looked as though early in the game with Stinson out there that they weren't really going to be pitching to Headley with men on base. He walked him, did Stinson in the 3rd inning, man at second. And then Cameron Lowe throwing him strikes, and now Jim Henderson, and he's driven in a couple of runs.
Runner at third, nobody out. Padres threatening to take the lead here as Henderson deals strike 2 to Grandal. Got him. Grandal strikes out. The first for Henderson. The first out of this 7th inning.
All set up by an early slider for a strike. Goes up the ladder, and Grandal swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. Big fastball.
Yonder Alonso with the infield end. Alonso bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the 5th inning with 2 men on. All tied at 6. High fly ball. Gomez and Braun. It'll be Gomez. Headley's going to tag. Here's the throw to the plate. It's a strong one. The tag safe. Headley gets a toe in there. Lucroy caught that one deep on the plate, and Headley was able to sneak a foot. Sac fly RBI for Alonso, and the Padres lead 7-6.
How about that throw from Carlos Gomez? Check this out. Calling it. Gets his momentum going toward home plate and throws a strike into Jonathan Lucroy. And just a little bit late. Headley runs pretty well. And it was the right call.
Yep, that was a good call. Home plate umpire James Hoy.
Hard to believe this was a 6-0 lead for the Brewers in the 3rd inning.
And Benorfia flies out to end it. So the Padres score 2 more runs and now lead 7-6.
Here as we take our pulse of social media, we asked fans to take a look back at the 2012 season as the outs and the innings dwindle, and we remember your best memories. Tip Top Lawn said Aoki's infield home run, not too bad for the new kid on the block. What a great season. John tweeted us saying, how about Gallardo's 14 strikeout game and Lucroy's pair of 7 RBI games? Elizabeth also agreed, saying it has to be Lucroy's single game performance with 7 RBIs, including a grand slam. Adam said, best memory when Braun hit 3 home runs in San Diego at Petco Park. Amazing power. And BA and Rock, just want to take a time to thank the fans for interacting with us all season long. Great to hear from them tonight.
Indeed. And all season long, it's been fun interacting on our Twitter handle at FS Wisconsin and at Brewers Fan Camp. Nori Aoki at the plate tonight. Brewers are hoping to put a couple of base runners on for Ryan Braun. Milwaukee down a run.
I've had fun with the social media this year. We thank Sophia for getting that started for us. And I particularly like Twitter Tuesdays on the pregame show. Answering questions from the fans.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've done a fine job at that.
No, I just had a good time, whether I did a good job or not.
You should be proud of yourself, Rob.
Had fun with it. Good times had by all on Twitter Tuesdays.
Bouncing ball to Cabrera, and Aoki is retired. John Axford would always chime in on Twitter Tuesday with a passing thought. Good for some yucks.
Quite complicated, tweets from the Axeman. We needed help from him from time to time.
There's a lot of translation going on.
A lot of Gen X type stuff.
So a pitching change is Bud Black. Take his left-hander out. Weeks and Braun coming up. San Diego has come roaring back. Scored 2 runs in each of the last 3 innings as Nick Vincent will take over on the mound for San Diego. And he's in the game for a better matchup with Ricky Weeks coming up. And Braun to follow. Vincent, a big strikeout pitcher, more strikeouts than innings pitched this season. And Weeks will step in with 1 away. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And a single and a run scored in the first inning. Stole a base in that inning. He walked his last time up. Ricky Weeks hitting .230. We hit a rocket out of here last night.
Yeah, that was a missile out in the left center.
One of the many Brewers that have locked up long term, signed a multi-year contract as Weeks flies out. 2 gone now for Ryan Braun. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming text question tonight: which player impressed you the most that you weren't expecting much from this season? John in Wisconsin Rapids. We expect a lot from everybody. Certainly some guys come to mind as they come to their feet here. Ryan Braun. It's a standing ovation. the moment at Miller Park, sensing this is Braun's last at bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Braun. It's been a great year for him.
Yes, it has.
Another one. Just keep putting up numbers. Well, you know he's going to lead the league in homers this season. I always wonder if Braun could hit 50. Feel like he could. He says he's got a little room to grow even after an impressive 6 years.
Yeah, he could do anything he put his mind to, actually. And here's a guy that in this stretch of winning for the Brewers about mid-August, he raised his batting average about 15 points. Talking about leading the charge, the great 8.
If he stays healthy, he'll be the last to wear that number. 1-2. Fights it off. We appreciate Ryan coming on with us, our Brewers Live pregame show today. Sat down for an interview, talked about his team and his town. Milwaukee through and through. He loves it here. They love him right back. Spoiled another one. Now remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Brewers are down a run, bottom of the 7th. And he strikes out. So the inning is over. Padres still lead it. Brewers getting on the board on a ground out from Ishikawa, and then a 3 RBI double by Travis Ishikawa. 4 runs batted in for Ishikawa, and he'll finish the season with 30 RBIs. He's 1 for 3 tonight, lifted in the middle of this game. Maldonado taking over at first base for Ron Renicky. Miller Lite, what's on tap? How about we do opening day, April 1st, against the Colorado Rockies right here at Miller Park on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Now remember, there'll be 2 exhibition games against the White Sox here at Miller Park the 2 days prior to opening day, and so we'll get some good baseball in. It's a 7-game homestand, I believe, or 7-day homestand to start the season.
Now K-Rod has been very good lately, along with a number of the guys out in the bullpen. Henderson, K-Rod, Axer's been a nice combination late in games. 78th appearance for K-Rod. You wonder what his future holds. I think he's going to be pitching, but where will that be? He's had a good finish to his season.
Well, Rodriguez briefly had the closer's role. He and Axford formed that great tandem last year. Unbeatable last season. Brewers did not lose a game when they had a lead going into the 8th. K-Rod and Axford, the big reason why. A little different story this year. Axford struggled in the closer's role. K-Rod had it briefly, gave it up, and then salvaged his season. And as the Brewers started to win games in late August, as Ron Renicky mentioned, the Brewers bullpen started to settle in a little bit, and that's why the turnaround happened. No balls, 2 strikes. 7-6 Padres in the 8th. Maben hit a 2-run homer his last time up. Takes a called strike 3.
Boy, that fastball right there. Can't do it any better than that.
Now, Rock, how about the numbers over his last 23 games?
Yeah, look at the opponent batting average. 139 the league has hit off of him. 22 in the 3rd inning. He's got 24 punch outs. And for me, it's his ability lately to throw curveballs, changeups, and strikes. And because of that, throwing those early in counts, he's been able to slip the fastball by hitter. All of his pitches have been very good lately.
In the air to right, playable for Aoki. As Andy Perino skies out for out number 2. Well, as the Brewers started to make the turnaround, it was K-Rod and Axford both pitching well once again during that stretch. The last 47 appearances combined. You see what they did. Axford saved 17 games. Not giving up much at all. More strikeouts than innings pitched by a long shot.
Not giving up many hits. The key to both of their success, obviously, late in the game, minimizing walks, and they've been doing that most of the time lately.
Marcotte pinch hitting. He'll be one of the few Padres on their charter flight back to San Diego tonight. That's his hometown. Everybody gets their own 3 rows tonight on the way back to San Diego. Padres were grumbling a little about the night game tonight.
That's all right. Little payback.
Padres are notorious in baseball for giving night games on getaway days over the past.
San Diego and the Dodgers.
Which means 6 or 7 a.m. arrival back in the Midwest. And we've been on a few of those.
Well, you know what? They have plenty of time to rest up.
Right. They got the entire offseason.
I would imagine by spring training they're going to feel fine.
There's strike 1 to Katse. Think about how long K-Rod's been around and been a fixture in the big leagues since '02. There's strike 2. But he's only 30. He's a year older than Jim Henderson. Was in the big leagues at 20.
When you put it in perspective like that, it is amazing what he's been able to do.
Full count. Katse fouls it away. Frankie Rodriguez is still pursuing 300 career saves. He's 6 shy of that mark. And you know his first priority will to see if there'll be a club that gives him a chance to be the closer. The 3-2 pitch, and Katse pulls it foul. Everything is settled in baseball at this point. All the divisions, the wild card teams, the venues, a triple crown settled. Miguel Cabrera wins a triple crown. Scotty flies out to left. K-Rod comes back from 3-0 and retires the side. 3 up, 3 down.
Seven to 6, still a couple of more innings to go for the home club as we get set for Brewers Live postgame. In fact, the Brewers trying to win their 50th home game, which would tie Cincinnati for the most home wins in the league this year, guys. Not bad after a 12-15 start, but this one, where did it go, Davey?
It went because the bullpen hasn't been too effective. But, you know, you can't count this team out right now because, number one, they've had some dramatic come-from-behind wins here. They're in familiar territory. I'm looking for them to come back.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing this ball club has been resilient all year. I'm sure they'd like to finish off the season at home with a victory. All right, we'll cover it all coming up after the game. 162, the finale, Brian.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. Looking smart out there on the set. Craig and Davey and Augie. And thanks to those guys for their great work all season long. And all of our Brewers Live pre and post game personnel been traveling with us this year as the new studio is being refurbished.
It's been a lot of fun hanging out with the guys. And
the Yankee grounds out for the first out of the 8th inning. Dale Thayer is the new pitcher. Hard thrower.
Yep, 64th appearance for Thayer. Good numbers. Earned run average of about 3.5. Very dependable out of the bullpen. Padres have a good bullpen. We saw Thayer in last night's ball game. Gave up a couple of hits in the 3rd of an inning, but did not allow a run.
There's Jonathan Lucroy now with one away. Brewers down 7-6. Final game of the year tonight. A win would give the Brewers 84 victories, 6 games over 500 for the season. After being 12 under on August 20th.
And since August 20th, they've played 20 games over 500. Wow.
Impressive.
It is.
It's a kind of run that carries over.
Got a whole winter to hold on to that confidence. And bullpen's confidence, offense. young starting pitching. You get energized. The crowd, the fans get energized thinking about some of the performances that took place at the end of the season. I'll tell you, Doug Melvin's job is going to be a little bit easier now that things have kind of smoothed itself out.
Doesn't need a whole lot of parts to build for next year. On the second wild card. Stroke of genius. I think that's really going to create some interesting maneuvering next season. The GMs make trades so early. There's so many great comebacks. Brewers had one. A's finished one off, winning the division after they were 13 games back as late as June 30th. Five teams making the postseason in each league, and remember the Astros are going to the American League next year, so 15 teams in each league. There will be an interleague series for every series of the season on the schedule at some point. Even opening day will have one interleague series. Brewers interleague takes them through the American League West next year, so they will play Houston. They'll have a home and home with the Rangers. They go to Seattle.
It's been a while since the Brewers were in Seattle. It's a good town. Looking forward to it.
Brewers also have a home and home with the Twins. Back-to-back two-game series. Lucroy, a soft liner out to Cabrera for the second out. The Reds will host the Angels as the first interleague series on opening day ever. Here comes Gomez with two away.
It'd be a good time for number 20.
Amen. Brewers down a run. Tell you what, the fact that the Athletics won the division, that's going to make an interesting Manager of the Year vote. Bob Melvin and Buck Showalter.
Yeah.
There's a big cut by Gomez. 0-2 the count.
That's an awfully tough division, that American League East, that Baltimore dominated for the most part. Of course, the West no slouch either, are they?
Not anymore. A shift in the balance of power. Gomez in a 2-2 count. This Padres bullpen has shut down the Brewers. They have not had a base runner since the 4th. That was a Ricky Weeks walk. Haven't had a hit since the 3rd inning. 2-2. Gomez breaks his bat, and there is the 3rd out of the 8th. 7-6. Padres lead. We go to the 9th. To the ninth we go. The Brewers had a big lead early, 6-0, but the Padres come roaring back, and now it's 7-6 San Diego. As we head to the top of the ninth, how about this play from Cameron Maben, our Pizza Hut delivery of the game, robbing Ryan Braun of extra bases and an RBI. Great play. One of the best catches of the year that we've seen.
Yeah, and it set the tone for a very good defensive night for the San Diego Padres. They've been very good with the gloves tonight. John Axford on here in the ninth. Very rare do you see John in a game with the Brewers trail, but last game of the season, Ron Redke wanted to get him in there. 75th appearance, 91 punch outs in just a little over 68 innings of work.
And Cabrera fouls it back. Looking ahead to the Brewers' ninth inning. Have a pinch hitter for Axford. He's actually due to lead off the ninth. And then Gene Segura, Martin Maldonado, if anybody gets on, back to the top of the order. Ricky Weeks for the first out. Well, our Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game. Rock, how about we give it to the Brewers fans this year?
Man, no doubt. And another impressive performance at the turnstiles again this year for Milwaukee.
Brewers drew 34,451 tonight, and that gives them a season attendance of 2.83 million this year. The fifth largest season turnout in history, franchise history. 2.83 million
every night. Good crowds here at the ballpark.
2,831,385 to be exact. That is impressive, and that's why Milwaukee is such a hotbed for Major League Baseball, and we hear it all over. We travel all over the major leagues. Wherever we go, we talk to opposing broadcasters and writers from other teams, and they always comment about Milwaukee as Axford strikes out Venable. What a great town it is, what a great baseball city it is. They love their team, and couldn't agree more. Way to go, fans.
Yep.
Hope to see you back next year. Yep. Hopefully it'll be a playoff year next year.
Now looking at what the Brewers threw out there in September, yeah, pretty good shot at it.
Brewers are going to come up short on the strikeout record unless we go to extra innings and start picking up a bunch of strikeouts. They were close. Chase Headley has had a good night. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, walked twice, stole a base. 115 runs batted in. It's possible that Braun could hit in the 9th inning, and possible that he could come up with the bases loaded and 2 outs and hit a grand slam and win the game and win the RBI title. You like that scenario?
I love it. I like the way you're thinking.
Well, that's the way it's laying out. I mean, if you're going to write the script, might as well do it this way. Swing and a miss, and Headley down on strikes. John Axford, what could be his final appearance of the year. He finishes with a couple of Ks. the 9th inning. Last call for the Brewers in 2012. Check the Powerball home run count. The Brewers will lead the league in home runs this year, 202. And if it ends, it will lead the league in stolen bases as well. Impressive.
Yeah.
First team since the Colorado Rockies of 1996 to accomplish that feat.
Yeah, good combination of power and speed. It's been a very good offense from Milwaukee this year. And well spread out, really. Be nice to hit a couple of more in this inning to get a win.
Luke Gregerson is on to try to save it for San Diego. And Nyjer Morgan will lead off. He'll pinch hit, and you can bet he'll get a big ovation. The man who had one of the biggest hits in franchise history last year, perhaps batting for the final time as a Brewer. It's been a rough season for Morgan, but he's been a great teammate. Playing time cut short. And you know he'd love to go out with a bang here. Brewers down a run. Morgan, then Segura, followed by Maldonado.
One of those years where United just couldn't get things going after a terrific season a year ago, and a good way to finish to get a base hit here to start a nice rally from Milwaukee.
Said he's headed back to San Francisco. And down 0-2. His moment came last October. The base hit that sent the Brewers to the NLCS. A game-winning RBI single, scoring Gomez. And that will live forever. Oh, 2 the count. And Morgan strikes out for out number 1. So 1 gone. I want to say thanks to our great media relations crew as well. Mike Masallo and John Steinmiller, Ken Spindler. Terrific work all season long helping us with the Brewers, and our terrific crew in the booth. Mike Faulkner on stats all year. Rick Ramirez for his work as well, and the inaugural member of the Stage Managers Hall of Fame, Renee Hoffman. Don't hide back there, Renee.
Yeah. What would we do without Renee in the booth? It certainly wouldn't be as good a place to work. Yeah, she doesn't like to be on camera.
You could at least wave, Renee. Come on. Yeah, okay.
There you go. She's in witness protection.
Cue shot off the bat of Segura. It's kicked by Alonso. And here we go. The Brewers have the tying run aboard, and the winning run will come to the plate.
Yeah, man, great speed at first base. Talking about kicking one, that was literally kicked all the way over to shortstop by Yonder Alonso. Good pitch by Gregerson. His best pitch, the slider. Never got a glove on it, and then kicked it over towards second base. So a base runner with 1 out.
Just the threat of that speed, it changes everything for a defender. He knew he had to hurry to get it in his glove and make a flip to the pitcher covering, and completely whiffed on it. Alonso.
Now the long ball.
Might as well. One last moment here at Miller Park, perhaps. And the rookie Martin Maldonado, and a breaking ball strike.
Nice to throw that slide. He throws a lot of them. He's got a good one.
Maldonado hit a grand slam yesterday's game. A game the Brewers won 4-3. He was responsible for all 4 runs with 1 swing of the bat. pops it up. Foul territory for Alonso, and there is out number 2. So the Brewers down to their last out of 2012. And it'll be Nori Aoki who gets a big hand as well. What a season he's had. Didn't know a whole lot about him when the Brewers signed him. Brewers had never seen him play in person, only on video. They scouted him, signed him to a 2-year deal, and a great season.
Yep, they're glad they signed him.
He'll be back next year. Well, did he go? They will ask, and no, he didn't. Checks his swing. Aoki has a walk-off home run this year. It's one of the top moments of the season. He can do it. Had a 9th inning home run in St. Louis off Jason Mott as well. That tied the game. Aoki rips it foul. Ball and a strike. Aoki will get some votes for Rookie of the Year. He won't win it, but he'll get some recognition from the writers. Set a franchise record for doubles this year. Nori Aoki from a rookie. Past Prince Fielder. The 1-1. Aoki slashes it foul. Stellar career in Japan, one of the top players over there. And I wonder if you'll see Aoki in the World Baseball Classic next season for Japan. He's shared the same outfield with Ichiro on that team the last couple of times around. We'll see. Brewers down to their last strike. 2 outs in the 9th. And Aoki strikes out, and the ball game is over, and the season is over. It ends in a loss, 7-6. The Padres defeat the Brewers. Milwaukee will finish 83-79. Able to salvage this season. 12 games under. They finish 4 games over 500, and that will close the book on 2012. Well, partner, it's been a fun year. It's been a wild ride this year, yeah. But here we are again as we wrap up 2012. Always an honor to sit next to you and work with you and our great crew out there, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. So thanks for a great year. We'll do it again next year. What do you say?
Yeah, it's never a job, is it? We come out here every day, whether it's at home here at Miller Park or on the road, and have a good time watching baseball, talking, and well done. Good luck in the postseason.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. That'll do it for our play-by-play coverage as we send it out to the others in bow ties. Craig Kashawn is standing by for Brewers Live.